Hey fellow gamers, Chatty Sisa here. Welcome back to another update from the world of Blood of Dawnwalker. Rebel Wolves have released more concept art, soundtrack snippets and the next chapters of the secret history of Vale Sangora. Plus, the community made an intriguing discovery about one of the game's tombs. And there might even be more hidden beneath the surface than we thought. Part 10 of the Secret History of the Vale introduces us to the Valley's second saint. Saint Tina, a shepherdess turned miracle worker, there was no illness she could not cure, no festering wound she could not clean. She founded a convent, and even in the game's timeline, people still flock there to pray and seek healing. The narrator even gets to look inside her sarcophagus, and is visibly tempted by a gleaming medallion resting on her chest. This could hint at relics, hidden powers, or possible quest items, very likely to be an important in-game location or lore trigger. Alongside this history entry, we also got new concept art titled St. Tina's Convent. This one gives a much more personal and eerie vibe. Muddy roads, worn stones, a lonely figure walking up, like something major is about to happen there. Possibly tied to a pilgrimage, a memory, or even a quest scene? Who knows? Now here's where things get a little mysterious. This concept art was posted with the name Church in Lastly, while the previous image, clearly labeled as St. Tina's Convent, shares some striking architectural similarities. According to Discord moderator Dominica, Lastly is actually a village in the game's world, and there may have been a mix-up with the naming. But maybe it's a hint? Some players in the servers speculated that the convent might actually be located in or near Lastly, meaning the church and the convent could be connected in lore, even if they look slightly different in the concept art. Both pictures share a lot of similarities, but the cross placement is a bit different. The Lastly church has a prominent central cross, while the convent shows more distributed ones. The surrounding terrain has slight changes, different angles, rock formations, trees and elevation. For now, it's hard to say whether we are looking at two distinct locations, an earlier version of the same building, or if the convent just happens to sit in the Lastly region. Either way, it's fascinating to see how even the smallest detail can kick off a whole trail of speculation. We also got a first look at Cohen's family home. This looks like a pre-vampire glimpse into his life, a snapshot of a time before violence and supernatural transformation. It humanizes Cohen in a powerful way, especially considering we already know that his family will be held captive by Brancis and the vampires during the game. We see a woman, maybe his mother, sitting at the table, garlic hanging near the window, a pot above the open fire. It's humble and warm, the opposite of the world he'll be thrown into. It's a strong contrast with the bloodshed and darkness we've seen in other parts of the trailer, and a reminder that Cohen has something to lose. The next chapter in the history log, part 11, takes a darker turn. As soon as the setting sun grazed the mountaintops, I would hear the clacking of the shutters and then deafening silence. One morning in Svartrau, I stumbled upon a body so mangled it was barely recognizable as human. This unsettling discovery ties in probably with another concept art piece, one that might make your skin crawl. The latest creature concept art shows something we haven't seen before, and it definitely stands out. It's unlike anything we've seen in the Witcher series, and that's exactly the point. Blood of the Dawnwalker may share some creative DNA, but this is a distinct world. Many fans on the Discord server said they liked that the creature didn't feel familiar, that it sets the tone for a darker, weirder kind of monstrous. At first glance, it's a grotesque fusion of wood and metal, shaped like a construct. It has two sets of arms, the upper pair stretched into ragged wings, while the lower set ends in deadly scythe-like blades. This isn't just some flying pest, this thing was built to kill. Add to that the unsettling metallic mask covering its face, and what we're looking at might be a twisted depiction of death itself. Not a graceful reaper with a rope, but a bone-rattling monstrosity that flies straight out of folklore and into your worst nightmares. The accompanying text is poetic but very unsettling. Since times immemorial, humans crafted representations of themselves. And for just as long, they dreamed of breathing life into them. Wouldn't it be grand, they thought, looking at their clay figurines and crudely sewn rag dolls, for these to come alive, obey my every command, fulfill my deepest needs. But we should be careful for what we dream of, for dreams do sometimes come true, but only as nightmares. This raises questions. Are these man-made guardians? Failed magical experiments? And if you recognize the design, it might be because this creature was briefly visible in the Dawnwalker gameplay trailer, though only for a split second. With this new concept art, we finally get a closer look. Whatever it is, it's not something you want following you home. Speaking of recognizing things, Discord user #1Fron pointed out that one of the game's tombs is based almost one-to-one on a real-life Etruscan tomb. The mural patterns, layout, and even the doorways match. It's inspired by the Tomb of the Bulls near Tarquinia in Italy, a burial site known for its vivid artwork dating back to approximately 530 BC. It's another subtle nod to the team's research depth, merging real European history with their dark fantasy world. Big thanks here to Fron for the detective work. This kind of community insight adds a whole new layer to the lore, and we should definitely keep an eye out for more historical references in the game. Which brings us back to the last new entry in the secret history of the Veil, and it adds an eerie layer to everything we've seen so far. The valley seemed to frown with a dark energy, which tangled my thoughts and seeped into my dreams. It felt unreal, like a place from a folk tale, or rather some cautionary tale. Even the narrator, who's been calmly documenting saints, monsters, and even mangled bodies, now begins to question reality itself. He fears no one will believe his findings, that Veil Sangora might vanish into a legend and be dismissed just as a fever dream. This ties into what we're starting to feel from the game's tone overall, that sense of blurred lines between myth and truth, and a world so drenched in superstition that even the historians become unreliable narrators. It's subtle, but a powerful foreshadowing. And last but not least, a bit of a bonus. We've had 2 music tracks shared recently in the community, and both sound incredible. Fans have already pointed out how heavily they resemble the musical tone of the original Witcher trilogy. Haunting instruments, melancholy undertones, and a strong Slavic vibe. They absolutely fit the tone of what we've seen so far. Here's 2 brief snippets, and if you'd like to listen to the whole tracks, I'd highly recommend joining the Dawnwalker Discord server, which I'll be linking in the description below. If these two are teasers of the soundtrack to come, I'm definitely all in. So there we are, miraculous relics, terrifying creatures, hidden history, and even echoes of real tombs and ancient cultures. With each new reveal, the Blood of the Dawnwalker paints a richer, darker world. Let me know in the comments what you think of the new concept arts and updates, and if you spot another real-world connection like that tomb, I would love to hear it. And in the meantime, thanks a lot for watching, stay tuned and game on!